Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to update the Durex build, update to the newest version. You will get a notification like this saying there's an update available for Durex build. The three buttons you see from left to right are fresh install, standard install, and delay update. If you don't want to update at the given when you get the pop-up, hit delay update. You'll get it again later. You can do it later. To install from one version to the next, hit fresh install. When you do that, I will do it right now. What it will do is it will give you the eye. Will ask you if you want to restore configuration to default settings. Hit continue. What it will do at this time is it will delete the old version. Then it will start downloading the new version. Alright, so it's just deleting all the files and everything from the old version. Once it starts to download the new version, I'll pause this and then come back once it's just about done. It doesn't take that long though. If you have a decent internet connection, decent internet speed, it downloads very fast. I think it takes almost as long to delete the old version as it does to download the newest version of it. And it's almost done. Alright, so it's done, and in a second it'll start downloading the new version. Alright, and as you can see, I have a pretty decent speed. Anything 3 megabits a second and higher speed. Me just gonna finish downloading pretty quick. It says 30 seconds left till it finishes downloading. So actually it won't let me pause it, so you have to bear with me here. And alright, so less than a minute. Once it gets done downloading, it has one more file. It just has to pretty much install it after, so it takes a little bit longer. So it takes a little bit longer than what it says, but it's still pretty quick. Alright, so it's now done downloading the new build. Now it's just installing it. Sometimes it actually takes longer to install it than it does to download it, but it's still not that bad. After it's done, I'll show you how there are a few, they're just like, I think 3 tweaks. It's very easy to do. In settings, every time you update it, you have to make these 3 tweaks, which is it takes a minute. I mean, minute or two to make those 3 settings tweaks. So it's not very hard once you get done installing it. You just remember to take, you can come back to this video anytime to get those 3 tweaks that you need to see them, and then you're good to go. So it's almost halfway done installing. So what it does is any old add-ons, any bad add-ons will be deleted from the old version. And then if there are any new add-ons that a developer just build sees fit to add, so any bad ones that aren't working anymore or are running sluggish, developer deletes, and then he adds any new ones, so it keeps the build fresh. So it's a very good feature. Before you had to just manually update it. Now it's pretty easy to update it yourself. So. Alright, so just about done here. It's coming up on 9.5 minutes, so that's not too bad. Sometimes it takes even shorter amount of time, depending on the speed of the server. So now it's done. It's going to give you the option. So reload profile, I honestly don't know what that is. You don't worry about that. The other one says force close. You want to make sure you're highlighting force close. Hit OK. It will close Kodi. Then all you have to do is go back into Kodi, which is this one right here next to the plus sign. So you get OK to go back into Kodi. And it takes a second to come up. Alright, so now you have the new build. It does take a second, a few minutes actually, to do all its updates and everything and configurations. But it usually allows me to go ahead and make the tweaks I need to make. So I'm going to go ahead and do them, and I'll tell you what we do here. Alright, so you're going to go over to the left to System. Hit OK on System, or well, you can, yeah, just hit OK on System. Once you highlight System, go down to Player, then hit OK. Once you do that, it's on videos. Go over to just go to the right with your remote. You'll see it highlight the first line. Go all the way down to under Processing, where it says Enable HQ Scalers for scaling above. It defaults at 20%. You want to put it. You want to then hit OK. Keep hitting OK on that one until you see it go to 80%. Once it's at 80%, hit the back button on your remote, and then you will go down to Interface. Depending on the size of your screen, see how my screen is a little cut off, the time, it's hard to see, but the time is a little cut off at the top. You hit OK on Interface, hit on the skin, go to the right, go all the way down to Zoom. And every time you hit OK, it's going to shrink. The screen will shrink. I usually set them up at -4%. So each time you hit OK, it'll put it down to -2 and then -4. So twice, or as long as it takes to get your screen to shrink to the desirable size. So now I have. See, now it's fit good into the screen. All right. So once you do that, hit the back button on your remote again, and then you're going to go to System, down to System, hit OK. So this is the third and final tweak. Go down to Audio. Once you're on Audio, go to the right, go all the way down to GUI Sounds. This setting will give you a sound every time you hit the remote. It'll give you a clicking sound every time you move your cursor, and every time you hit enter, it'll give you a little air sound. The way it recognizes when you make a selection, it actually took. If you don't want it, just leave it as is. But I find it's easier to see, to know when sometimes you might point it at the box and hit the remote and it doesn't catch. So it doesn't register. So when you hear the sound, it's registered. So hit OK on Play GUI Sounds, and it'll say only when. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah, on the GUI Sounds, then you go on the GUI Sounds again. It says Venice Mod Sounds. Hit OK. Then you just go up one to Kodi UI Sounds and hit OK. Once you do that, it'll select that one. Alright, so it changes to Kodi UI Sounds. Once you do that, you can back out all the way back to the main menu. Just taking a second to come back up. Alright, there it is. So you're back to the main menu screen in Kodi. One change in the new build as opposed to the older versions of the build is where your favorites are. You used to have favorites down in the bottom left hand corner. Now it's moved to right above where it says TV shows. There's a little toolbar right there. So the star for favorites is right there. When you click that, it'll bring you to your favorites. Anything you save to favorites will be there. Alright. If you ever want to manually update, if you delay update and you want to manually update the build, I can show you how to do it later manually if you want to wait. If you don't want to wait for the next prompt to do so, you go down to System, come down to Update Build under System, hit OK on Update Build. Once you've done that, it will give you the menu. It'll say you have like right now it has 5 different servers under Durex build, under Krypton build, which is the build of Kodi is Krypton build. Just pick any server. You try the first one. It will then ask you want to do fresh install or standard install. This is as far as I can go. If I do fresh install or standard install, it's going to do it. But once you do that, it will start downloading. It will, if you do, and I recommend doing the fresh install. Like I said, to change from one version to the other, if you do fresh install at all times. Once you do that, you can see the speed. If it's not running that fast, you can hit OK. It will cancel the download, back out, pick one of the other servers until you find a faster server. All right, and then once you do that, it will download, install, and then give you the force close option. Hit force close, and then once it force closes Kodi, go back into Kodi, and then you do your 3 tweaks, and then you're good to go. All right, so hopefully that will help you, and you better update it. Each time you have a new version of Durex, you can do it yourself without any problems. All right, thank you, and have a nice day.